Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the second quality. Azizun alayhi ma anittum, harisun alaykum bil mu'minina raufur rahim. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to feel the pain of others. He used to understand the pain of others. He was worried about the well-being of others. That level of empathy, that level of care and consideration, where you are not only worried about someone else, you are worried about someone else whilst you are worried less about yourself. You are worried less about yourself. You are sitting with the people, talking to them, smiling with them, laughing with them. That is another quality of leadership. That is another quality. And I will prove it to you from the lifestyle of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. After the battle of Uhud, Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in so much pain. So much pain. He was brutally injured. His lips were busted. His teeth were broken. His face was bleeding. He lost his cousin about whom he was supposed to break the news to his aunt. He lost his uncle Hazrat Hamza radiallahu ta'ala, who was not only killed and martyred, he was mutilated, he was cut into pieces. The Sahaba mentioned, when we saw Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam standing on the body of Hazrat Hamza radiallahu ta'ala, there was so much pain in him that we could hear his chest grinding. There was so much pain. He lost his 70 companions, his friends, his relatives, his students. But after all the pain in his heart, he had the ability to look across the room and find Hazrat Jafar radiallahu ta'ala who's seated in a corner, who's also crying because he lost his father in the same battle. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is there with his pain, and he looks at Hazrat Jafar with his pain. What does Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam do? He puts his pain aside and he walks up to Hazrat Jafar radiallahu ta'ala. He hugs him, he embraces him. And then Hazrat Jafar starts crying. Hazrat Jafar was a young man. He was only 20 something years old. And what happened is that he had 7 younger sisters with him. And the day before, the father told him, if I have to die, you will be taking care of this 7 younger sister of yours. So within a day, from brother he changed into a fatherly figure. So that Jafar is crying on the shoulder of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam gives him a shoulder to cry, and he says to him that, oh Jafar, don't stress, don't worry. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has honored your father. In fact, when your father fell down in the battlefield, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent an angel with wings who was covering the body of your father so the sun does not touch the body of your father. That level of empathy, that is leadership. What happens after the battle of Muta? Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam receives the Sahaba, and from the Sahaba he loses one of his close cousin, Hazrat Jafar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and his adopted son, Hazrat Zayd bin Haritha radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Imagine the pain Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam must be going through at that time. But still, what does he do? He goes to the house of Hazrat Jafar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. He calls the wife of Hazrat Jafar, Hazrat Asma, and he says to her that, oh Asma, where are the children? The children are brought forward. He hugs them, he kisses them. So Hazrat Asma says that, oh Prophet of Allah, has something happened? Why are you treating my children like orphans? So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says that Hazrat Jafar has passed away. So Hazrat Asma starts crying, and she starts to say, what is going to happen to my children? They won't have a fatherly figure as they grow up. Who's going to take care of them? Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says that, oh Asma, don't worry. I am there for them in this world and in the next. I am there for them in this world and in the next. And when Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said this, he just didn't say it. He fulfilled his responsibility. Many a times what happens that out of emotions we make a commitment, and then later on due to responsibilities we forget. We are human beings. But look at the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He goes back at his house, and then he tells Fatima that, oh Fatima, the household of Jafar is preoccupied with the issue of Jafar. So send food for them. Till 3 days food goes from the house of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to the house of this widow. And then later on Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam comes to find out that the hair of those same children, which Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam took responsibility for, the hair started growing longer. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, subhanallah, he, the leader of this humanity, he, the leader of this universe, sends a barber to cut their hair, to cut the hair of these children. That is the leadership of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And that is what is missing in us today, respected elders and friends. These are the true qualities